We love you. Yeah. Yeah, you're awesome. Woohoo. Ding, 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 ding. I don't wanna be bowed. Bam, bam. Experimentations with the bald man. This is the DVD commentary. Bang. Because my microphone fucked up again. So I'm going to have to talk and say what this guy does. Good morning. I'm just going to wait a couple of seconds because this phone's a bit broken. My phone takes a while to realise it doesn't work and then shifts to the other microphone. And kind of build up at the start of most of the videos. And that's what happens. But it doesn't matter, I got a new phone today. iPhone SE, I'm very excited about it. It's got a fucking button, motherfucker. He's not saying those things, I'm just saying it. I just came back from the shops. I'm so excited. It's transferring right now. iPhone SE. It's not $400 like the American videos say, it was like $800. I had to drain every bank account and get all this change out of my bag. But I'm going to sell my other phone for about $500 hopefully. Oh yeah, the hair stuff. What he's basically saying is that I ordered nose to spine, not ear to ear, and they did that correctly. And I also bleached the front hairline. Didn't do it long enough though. He says the problem has been, but there's something I wasn't quite sure enough about at the beginning, is that the density, is it that the hair's not thick enough, there aren't enough hairs in this hairpiece? Yes, I can tell you in advance, spoiler alert, that is correct. This was cut out of a rectangle. But it's so wispy, it's so lightweight, it can be manipulated and it sort of stays. There's no, hairs don't hold each other up. Alright? It's like, when they're far apart, they can have more lean, right? This is low density. I'd say it's low. They can say medium light. I guess it could be medium light. But I need medium. If they think this is medium light, the same as the one that came out of the... It's a stupid haircut, by the way. Box. It's not the same. You should grow your hair longer out. More boof, but less boof. You know what I mean? Just, if you're going to have it that short on the back and sides, make it short at the front. And don't have a fucking... I just came out of a fucking hyperbaric chamber. What do you call it? What's one of the ones where you freeze? Anyway, he's come out of stasis. He thinks he's a cop from the 1950s or something. 70s. Hair's too long for 50s. Although they had pretty long hair, didn't they? When they got in fights, you could see it flipping about all over the place, like a big whip. Actually, you can get some good tips about those guys from the 50s. Those hairstyles are really quite not very good looking when they're not done up with Brill cream or whatever the fuck they used. What's he talking about? They followed the instructions to go nose to spine all the way along. They did what I said, but it fails because blah blah blah. The colour's exactly what I wanted and everything else. But now that it's summer, I'm seeing better sunlight and I'm seeing that the colour's actually quite wrong. Not that they've got it wrong, I just keep choosing the wrong colour. Because I always put hair product in my hair and it darkens everything overall, general, and it mixes it together. But light hair against light, in sunlight you see everything. It's fucked. I hate sunlight. He's saying if I pulled out a single hair, there'd only be 99 hairs left. He's describing something about fucking V-loops. Why are they called V-loops? They're a V-shape. Yes, they are. They don't go down and through all the way along and then come up miles later. It's a V. It's just they look like a line because they're so close together. They've got about a millimetre of coverage in between the fucking X thing. Whatever the fuck. I'm drinking scotch. Yeah, and then your raper and right down the middle. It creates this very line pattern. Line. It's boring. And also, it's too loud in my ear. The reason I'm not making you enjoy his voice is because it's fucking bad microphones go throughout the fucking thing. And that's what I'm listening to. Do you think I'm sane while I'm speaking to you? No, I'm insane. It's half his fucking nasally fucking frog voice. It sounds like a little kid even though he's fucking 43. because he thinks he's still a kid. And then that's combined with the fucking crackling. It's pissing me off that I have to do this as well to try and teach you something. But I thought being able to see how fucking light density is shit, like this one, look at that. You don't want medium light even. You want fucking medium. Look at that. You might say you can't see scalp through there, but you can when it's on your head. It sort of stretches it out a bit, right? Because it domes over your fucking head. But you don't want that left one. The one on the left is shit. The one on the right is what you want. He can feel, even though it's both light. He can feel that that one's double the weight of that one. That's what he said. They're both 0.03mm poly. That one's got an Auschwitz tag because it's the arse end of a hairpiece. And that one on the left is from, as one of the three from my custom rectangle. I said to do it again, please, Lord Hair, do it again, because I need thicker density on the next ones, because that was the first of 4, that first custom order I received. I paid for 4. And they said they could do it at 0.05mm poly. There's a whole problem with the COVID shit, right? They can't get proper staff. Why can't you do it like normal? Like 0.03, so it made me not trust. It sounds experimental. And so I said just do it in French lace. So that's what I've got now. I've ordered 2 of those. They said I couldn't order that either because they ran out of shit and they're not taking orders anymore. This is a major problem, kids. You start ordering your hair now. Flock like toilet paper, get that shit. It'll take about 13 weeks from the time they start taking orders again. I said 2 15 by 30cm French lace, perfectly bleached knots, medium density. Yeah, I said perfectly bleached knots. He said, imagine those lines are bad. Imagine squished ants all over your fucking head. That's the problem with lace. Badly bleached knots. Happens all the time. Yes, I know. Why don't they just make every hair piece blonde and then dye the hair after so the knots can be perfect? And then this guy's going to say this. I don't know. Because they probably have to weaken the hairs too much. Because they're probably Indian hairs with Indian heads. And there are not many blonde Indians. Newsflash. So start the thin hair from the brittle blonde, and then you're dyeing it again, and you're fucking doing that shit. So it's gonna be like straw. They put some conditioner in it, and you have a shower, and then it washes out, and then it's just spray, this frizz, and then break. It'd be shit. It's really up to us to do that kind of thing. I'm not really gonna do that, even though I thought it was going to be easy a few years ago. Isolating the knots from the hair dye, I wouldn't know how to do it. I'd have to dip it into some sort of tank of dye or some shit and then not get it into the... and it doesn't absorb up enough or something, and it stops in a big straight line. It looks like regrowth or some shit. Sounds like more trouble than it's worth, really. Probably easier just to do what they normally do. Just bleach the knots. Probably easier. I don't know. I wish they were perfect knots, but hairs do act as sponges. So if they've got bleach up to the point where you want to stop, are they going to have a straight across line? Straight line across where their hairs fucking look like regrowth. It's going to be hard to achieve that look. If you start with blonde and then try to dye your hair. I'm going to see some family members and stuff, so I don't want to walk around with this fucking dead fucking roadkill on my head. I need that nice lush fucking thing on my head instead. Let's go. I don't know what he said. Some shit. Oh yeah, it's got fucking horrible horizontal V-loops all the way across that because it's the arse end of the hairpiece. Anyway, I can have a brush forward look or a hat or some shit. Not a hat, because that's not what I'm doing. These are the only ones I got left. I'm running out. French lace. It's the only lace piece I've got. I am ordering French lace. I don't know what he's talking about. This is my last lace piece. And then I've got these ones. That is an Auschwitz tag arse end. Hurry up. Yep, we get it. You got only about 5 left. Let's go. Next. Teach us shit. What the fuck you doing? You're wasting my time. Hurry the fuck up, dickhead. Yeah, and we'll cut too. Were you fucking drinking again when you cut that shit? Fucking hell. Both low density ones. No, the one you've got it's shit. And you can see the hair color difference. Look at it. You can see there's a big fucking line of where it starts. And look at the buffy hair stopping and then the fucking straight hair starting. For God's sake. If toppers weren't so ridiculously stupid, I'd fucking do that. Shave my head so I could just stick it on the whole thing. Big rug. Maybe it might even look after it if I have a big one. It costs so much money. Glue somehow creeps around. That's disgusting. Take that fucking thing off your head right now. See, this guy can't see the screen very big on the phone screen. Oh, shit's going to be even smaller now with the iPhone SE. It's going to be a bit of a problem. Anyway, it's all bad vision on a phone screen. You can't see it much. But I love the idea of portability with that fucking tiny thing with a fucking button. Love it. Look at that disgusting line all around the perimeter. That's so shit. It looks like it looks like it's like fucking got it's mange. It's like a wombat that you just don't want to pat. That's gross. Take it off right now. It's disgusting. Unsalvageable. You wouldn't even bother using C22 on that shit. It's too thinned out. There's nothing you can do. I reckon it probably looks like that on the edge of every hairpiece. It's just that it's hidden. Look at that. It's so light density. You can see all that shit. No, it can't look that bad on any other hairpiece. That's the worst I've seen. That's fucked up, man. Looks like the base is yellow in colour. That is a good example of a shit hairpiece. Take it off. You're ruining my drink. This is bullshit. All of it. Oh God, no wonder I don't clean them. Look at that thing. Imagine trying to clean that. I used to think you could just put it in a fucking bucket of C22 and then it was dissolve clean. Doesn't work like that. It's like spraying some detergent over a fucking pile of shit and expecting it to just disappear. Someone's coming back here in Australia. No better, really, than stuff. Yeah, see how messy the hair is able to get? It's also a lot to do with the lack of density, I think, and it's a wrong length for that short back and sides. It needs to be a bit shorter. Because the rest of the facial hair and everything looks pretty neat. I like that kind of weird style, even with the fucking red beard and shit. Because nobody else has that. I might just do a circle of beard on my left cheek next time, or a spiral. What's he talking about? Something about hair. Get a roller. Oh yeah, that's right. Talking about silicone glue. That's going to be another test I'll do. Get more into that. That means I could pre-glue it because it doesn't stick too much. But because it's silicone, it's barely even sticky when you touch it. It's like hardened plastic. Extreme hold, pre-glue it, put it on the back. Spray some alcohol when I need to, and slam it on. Or you can put alcohol on your head. Then you don't get all the residue around the perimeter and forehead. The great thing about it is it doesn't seem to ever melt. Yeah, that's the thing that interests me. That's one of its most amazing things. It's like plastic. The problem is it does lose stickiness. And so when it loses stickiness, it's like a film of sweat over plastic now. And therefore it won't ever stick back down. You need more of that glue. There's more and more glue. And because it's like part of the plastic, hardened plastic, in the application of the glue, create hard lumps. that will not flatten. They can't be pressed and smoothed in because they don't melt into position or anything like that. It's hard plastic. If you add some more and try to re-stick something, you're adding bulk, and then you've got to carry the glue around with you. With other glue that's always melting, it's always generally tacky. It stays tacky. Body heat and sweat as well makes it messy as well, but it's moist and it can be pressed down after it lifts. It's got some chance of it holding after it comes up. When the room cools down a bit, you can sort of re-harden a bit. With extreme hold, silicone doesn't work that way. But one thing about silicone, I think it does not shine. It means it could be useful with lace. And in that situation, the silicone might be stuck to your forehead nicely, and the lace would be the one thing that might lift, and then you spray a bit more alcohol onto the bit, but not stick hairs in it. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. It might take some testing, but I still have some left. $65 a bottle though. Fuck. So rare, hard to get. I could pre-glue my head instead of the lace, but you can't pre-glue its lace anyway. Therefore it's less likely to go up into the lace. Because it doesn't really melt, does it? So you could wear a hat with it and stuff. It would eradicate nearly every glue-related problem, and might not even shine. You'd use the tape marking method to prevent it getting on the forehead. At least you have access to the what? To the part where the lace, the lace and glue it, touching just by spraying some alcohol through and pressing it in a bit, but without, obviously sticking your hairs in. But then you wouldn't sweat as much because it's got, the heat vents throughout the whole lace piece. So potentially with lace, a very neatly applied layer of glue, of silicone glue, could be the answer. Maybe. I wonder if I ordered that fucking... That was painful. That roller was like $12 on eBay. I was thinking about it. It was in my checkout, my shopping cart, I think. I was thinking about getting a roller so I could roll extreme hold. Oh shit. Kill me. Yeah, so basically you'd hold that thing into some kind of stencil, right? And then it would be a reverse stencil. The hairpiece would be exposed, so you could roller extreme hold straight over it nicely. And now he wants me to edit this bit so it seamlessly goes to this next click. There you go. Just pretend I did it. Don't tell him I didn't do it. Jeez, I'll tell you what, it sounds like 1,000 bugs crawling around in my head listening to this fucking microphone now. We just went to this next edit and I didn't do any kind of treatment on it. I hope I can hear his fucking voice at all. It's hard enough for me to fucking do this. You should be paying me for this shit. Don't I have an applaud button now on fucking YouTube? Press it. Give me $2. Don't have to give me anything, don't worry. I do all this for love. Yeah, that looks nice and easy. You need a bigger brush, dude. Every time you start this out, it fucking bores the shit out of me. Get a fucking basting brush, or just other disposable brushes or something. I know it would be a waste of glue if it gets stuck on there, and I always wish there was no chunk back here. There's always a chunk back here at the perimeter. I get the feeling that a lot of you who watch these videos... What do you mean, you people? We're a full topper. Something about a partial, I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. But I still can't wrap my head around the way you guys don't see the perimeter of your own head. At the back. You just put tape on it and chuck it back. Tape. He looks like he's getting ready to go and fucking kill somebody, doesn't he? Look at him. He looks like, seriously, I would totally recast Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver and put this guy instead. You talking to me? I don't see nobody else here. This guy'd be perfect. Look at him, he's a fucking madman. He's totally got a gun up his sleeve ready to click it out at the fucking president. Look at him. Some shit, I don't know what he's talking about. He's just complaining about people who wear toppers that they can't see the back of their own heads. They don't even care if it makes it nicely onto the perimeter. I agree with him. It sounds fucking retarded. You need a camera on a stand, I've told you this before. With a direct feed to the iPad on the bench in front of you, so you can see the shit. So even though I've got bad hairpiece, this one that I'm about to put on, I can have a brush forward look at least and cover it over. So even with a brush forward look with a light density, this episode is going to be completely about the density comparison, right? It's all about showing you why medium light density sucks and why medium density is the one you want. And fuck you, anyone who says, "Oh, you're not supposed to have medium density by your age." Fucked. I just got my first fucking section of grey hairs. Have you not seen fucking people who are 80 who've got a full head of hair? Just shave it, bro. Man, this is taking forever. So you can't just put a smooth, thin layer of glue because the brush is sort of stuck, and every time he wipes it a tiny bit, it sort of just like empties the brush and it just stays in that area. Whereas the Devlin green, it was much thinner, it was much less viscous, right? You just spread it like a bit more like water. It would go further, smaller amount, and the thinner layer potentially is the reason it had a bit of a better hold. So if I watered down Ultra Hold, it would probably create Devlin Green, even though I think maybe it has, I don't know, slightly different active ingredients. What's he talking about? He's still saying stuff about light density. He doesn't know what light density means. Why would it be sold? Why would anyone get light density? You can see right through. You can see right through to the scalp. That's not even a scalp, it's a fucking base of your hairpiece. It's either a net or it's a fucking plastic. I did an episode on exposed base, look it up. Light density would basically be like exposed base. Exposed base. Medium light density was almost like that. It's like you're buying a Homer Simpson hairpiece. Shit. That might as well be a knife. Look at his face. Dude, he had such a friendly, smiley face when he was a kid. Look at him now. Angry and bitter. Do you know what he just said? I'm gonna fucking call the police. He just said, "I'll be back when the second hand points to death." Nuts. You're plugged in even though I had a wet port. Is that a sexual connotation? There's massive lag between my mouth and what I can see in the screen. I'm using Filmic Pro. There's massive lag. You can see a 1 second delay, like he's fucking high. I'm feeling some sort of niggly feeling in here. He's pointing at his heart. So I'm drinking some water here. Everyone stop joking about this guy because he's dying. Drinking water. He never drinks water. In fact, he's not drinking water right now. There's ice. Well, ice has water in it, doesn't it? I don't know why I don't drink water. It's not pleasant. I have to force drink it. It has no flavour to it. Yeah, it's just hydrogen and oxygen. It's a waste of a mouthful of anything. I need to get the blood flow happening or some shit. And I'm going to keep the doctor away with this thing. I don't know. It's the other stuff he's got. Sorry while I survive here. He's basically saying, sorry if you're bored with the video and you're going to fast forward to the end and have like, give me a fucking 6-minute fucking average watch time on a 40-minute video, you fucking pieces of shit. He's going to move. Yep, don't laugh at him. He's trying to survive. Punch that shit out. See, he's laughing. He's all right. Don't worry. He's better. He's going to get these little fucking niggly little bits of glue out the back here with the glue and the spray shit. TV cleaner. Looks like having a great time. He says he wonders what's after death. Or should he say during death? You go to the cemetery, you know there are skeletons underneath your feet. But seriously. I can't hear him. You're walking over their graves or some shit. That body, even though they're not in it anymore, their brain died. Your brain didn't transfer it. You didn't back it up. I hope you backed them up, because potentially their mind was stored elsewhere, maybe, as well as the brain. Maybe when it evaporates, it goes to the clouds where the cherubs are flying around with harps. Whatever planet heaven is over is experiencing a state of being permanently overcast. Maybe heaven is Venus, and the angels there can survive, and they keep away from the sulfur and shit. But it's a nice local planet. We can just, our soul wouldn't have to travel too far, you know. Maybe in a couple of days by beam. It'll only take. You've got the speed of light. Electromagnetism after you die, because your soul, if your soul, you're still in this realm, instead of changing dimensions, you might emit something. But I think they would put emitters over brains. It's talking about doctors, but we still don't know what dark matter is. It's just like it's a Texas garbage pile in the middle of the ocean, filled with all the souls from around the universe just piling up, and it's just pushing universes apart. Can't hear him. Something about the dead souls of different creatures throughout the universe are causing the universe to separate, and the only way to stop that from happening is to nothing can die anymore, because it takes too much space in the universe, and secondly, and every planet is limited to, say, I don't know, what's a fair number of creatures? We're murdering about 56 billion animals a year for human consumption. So you can say, if you limit planet's death of any creature larger than a mouse. But he's going to talk about the size of a soul. I don't know if big souls come from big animals. It's a comparative to the brain size. Is that how much space your soul takes up? What are the rules of heaven and souls? Something hardcore. Hardcore religious people. They said we don't know, but we still have faith. Because everything that we're saying is true. But you're not saying anything. Give me some answers. What are the physical dimensions? And where is it located? Where's heaven? Where's hell? Surely it's not inside the iron core of the center of Earth. And if they are there, their bodies still are the pile of ashes or in a coffin, just there, right? So, what body is suffering in hell? What nerves? What is the central nervous system like of a soul? It's too late for me now to be asking they. What do they think? What would they would say? What's going to me after death? Well, my friend says I should think of Krishna at the moment of death, and then I'll get my own planet. That's what Krishna devotees believe. You ascend and you don't have to be reincarnated anymore. This is if you're in a wheelchair, you're being punished for some shit you did in a previous life. So disabled people are frowned upon by Krishna devotees. It's a strange selfishness to this whole religion. They just want to ascend because they're thinking of Krishna, they're training their mind. He says, I told you happy people are evil. This makes you think twice about those shaved-headed Krishna devotees who are praising life. Krishna, Krishna. Because if you say Krishna at the time of death, everything, all the chanting and everything else is training your mind constantly to be thinking of it so that they get a special round of applause from Krishna at the time of judgment after their death, and they go straight to their own planet, into enlightenment, and finish. You've won. No more reincarnation required. You're finished. You get a planet. You get to oversee a realm of some sort, domain for infinity. What interesting religions do you think you could make up? I reckon you could come up with 5 or 6 in one day that are more interesting, that are better ones than the mainstream ones. Because those people didn't have much of an imagination back in the days of sticks and stones. We've got other stuff now. We can start Matrix-style religions and stuff. Let's put this thing on my head, Squeaking it into position. He's not making that sound. I'm just bored. Hurry up. Just feeling chest pain. Probably some muscular. Not heart muscle, hopefully. Could be painful lung from too much inhaling of my inhaler, my vaporizer. Could be sitting in a chair too long. Sitting in the chair all the time. Hunching my shoulders. Causing some kind of shoulders forward, causing some kind of strain. I understand. I dig it. Let's go. Hurry up. Fast forward. Next. Something about your heart hurts. Okay, let's go. Move it. Fixating on it. But I think the other thing is, though, I do wake up sometimes with a jolt. I wake from a jolt, like that. Those things you put on someone's chest that go clear. Defibrillator. I think I'm having heart attacks quite often. So I'm often staying awake for several days at a time, like twice a week. I'll be awake for like 3 days, or maybe at least 3 times a week. Oh, that's bunched up. Pull it down. Oh, he can hear me. Brush forward, not back. I've got to concentrate. Stop dying so much. God, this audio is shit. Sorry, what'd you say? You see how much dense this is in the other one? Still, the density is important. Close up, it still looks like shit. You can already see the Auschwitz tag. Little tattoo. It's the other side of the Auschwitz tag. Look how blonde that is. It's too blonde. It might all come out in the mix though. It's way too orangey blonde. He's going to do a brushed forward look because there's no way he'll get away with a decent hairline with this hairpiece. It's going to be better than the other one though. maybe strain and stretch this area, get the blood pumping, widening the veins and stuff by moving. Sorry, I can't hear it. I'll have a drink. See, the thing is, I could go to the hospital and they could tell me, they could be on a cardiac machine and they could check my vitals and shit and tell me that I've got problems. And then they tell me I'm going to have to take warfarin and aspirin and all that sort of shit. And if I do it my own way and get fit and healthy, and then I go for a checkup later on, they say you're all good. Whereas right now, if I went there, I'd get psychologically fucked up, and it could be detrimental as an anti-placebo kind of placebo effect. Actually has an effect. Placebo effect does cause people to have increased or lessened illnesses depending on their mentality, which is known to be true. You can always lie and say, no, you don't have cancer. Well, the cancer eats you. Well, they could cut out a small chunk, whereas if they don't do it and they just trust the placebo effect, it'll just fucking eat your brain. It's precarious. Don't get any on the hair. Yeah, this is hard, this bit. And especially with this ultra hold as well. It's a bit grippy. You know that dark line I always get around the edges? It's got to have something to do with what I'm doing right now. Trying to carefully... Oh fuck, that's messy. So mozzarella-y, that glue. Devlin green is a lot easier to apply. Fuck that, look at that string. All over the place. Right, okay, fast forward. We get the idea, you can do the whole thing. Don't make me watch. Fast forward. Let me know when he's finished. You know, I've just realised you're going to be sitting here in silence if I don't make noises. Even though there's a whole lot of noise going on through my ears. Which sounds... I don't know if I can put this headphone to your fucking... There, can you hear that? Shit, it sounds shit. This is the bit that... Does this make it dirty? I don't know. I wish it didn't happen. See, this Auschwitz tag, if this hairpiece was as low density as that previous one, yes, I understand the Auschwitz tag will be showing brightly right through the front. It'd be shocking. Medium light density sucks. Which is why you can't get Swiss lace, because it's the maximum density you can get on Swiss lace. In the beginning I thought it looked fine, because lace sort of what? But you must have glue that does not... It's non-reflective. Which probably means... You know, it's interesting. I just want to mute this fucker for a second. It'd be nice to not have to listen to him. But anyway, I'm going to have to just keep doing this work. Anyway, he's talking about reflection of glue. Right, okay, so here's something, right? If I do get the lace, it'll be nice to fucking get rid of those V-loop problems. Because I really hate those lines going through everything. Even though I can easily, you know, make it land exactly, it still ends up with that fucking disgusting black line around the entire edge, doesn't it? I'll be more careful. Although, what could I be doing differently? I don't remember it always happening as bad. Lately, those black lines have been going right around the front border. Although I guess I haven't been really having many showers. Dirt probably just builds up. Shampoo and conditioner, washing your head once in a while. That'd be better. Something about a lot. You're saying something a lot. Huh? Bunch is also singular. Now he's talking about semantics. Because there are a lot instead of there is a lot. Because is a lot is actually correct. Like is a bunch. People is plural, but you know, say there is some people. You say there are some people. But you can say there is a group. There are a bunch or there is a bunch based on actual information. Just tell me the truth. What is it? Are a bunch or is a bunch? Which is correct? Tell me. Don't fucking do it. Don't do it based on what you've heard. Can't hear him. He's just muttering some shit about the fucking definition of words. Like, hurry up. You're nearly there. Just fucking do it. Go on the 15-minute break and then come back. Holy shit. Okay, I'm going to look ahead at the timeline. Oh, man. How long is that left? Alright, this video, by the look of it, has got another... Fuck. 20... What is that? 23 minutes. 22 minutes. Fuck's sake. At least I've got some more coke in here. I don't have to leave the table. My heart barely pumps. The blood around, because I'm just sitting there, I've got to move. And the other day, when I went to kick the football, I found it down by park. I found sore muscles all over my body for days just from kicking the ball about 3 times. Because I never fucking move. I sit in the chair all the fucking time. It's gonna kill me. Oh well. And I'll get to see the cherubs on Venus. Don't you love the way he comes full circle? You would think it's genius if it wasn't so easy. What? What Dreams May Come is one of the only movies I've seen that portray heaven. Except stuff from like the old days, Jason the Argonauts with, you know, Roman gods and stuff. What about Clash of the Titans and lots of stuff? Thor. How good would those stories be for science fiction? Like the stories between heaven and hell, or wars and all that stuff. Humans versus demons and angels and stuff. They get into human form and they fuck with humans and then they have half gods like Hercules. Need more of that shit. And Maui, he's a demi-guy. He sings You're Welcome from Moana. It's Dwayne Johnson who plays Maui in that movie. Can't hear a fucking word. It's so awful. Look at that glue, it's just about to drip all over your fucking forehead, dude. It's stuck. It's some messy shit, man. Yeah, for that reason alone, you'd go back to Devlin Green. Look how fucking hard it is to spread that shit. It's hard to distribute this glue. It's very thick glue compared to Devlin Green. I need some more of these. These are all dried out. Look at the back of your neck. You grow hair like a monster all over your back. Why can't they grow on your fucking head? You should just do an entire skin graft. Get your back and just fucking staple gun it to your fucking forehead, man. Then you'll be set. Look at all this shit. You know where lumps might form here? Can you see the spot where you think lumps will form? Along here, the biggest lump? Because I can see a place that I think it will form. Well done, you fucking did it. Just sort it out. Quickly. You see there? Where the glue is meeting. You just added more, dickhead. Fucking splay that shit. That's exhausting. Hurry the fuck up, man. I hope you're gonna fast forward through the haircut. No wonder it's got fucking 22 minutes or some shit left. Holy shit. Like 20 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes. Countdown. Let's go. 19 minutes. Dude. It's enough. You're not changing it. You're just making it worse. It just... The brush is hardened. It's taking so fucking long. Look at the back of that neck. There's no way to get a neat hairline in the back there. You could try to do a fade. Then you'd have to have very short hair and then it would be 1.5 inches and then you couldn't wear a hairpiece. I'll tell you what though, this guy looks fucking ugly bald. I'll tell you what. He looks like the retarded monkey from the War of the Planet of the Apes. War for the Planet of the Apes or War of? Please write in the comments below. Yep. Your head's still there. Then go and fucking smoke a pipe or some shit. Alright, he's back. 15 minutes have passed. Oh, look at that clock. Spent the last half an hour trying to make my printer print. Along with the touchscreen and everything, I've got to scroll with my lyrics and everything. I've got to memorize it, but it's there. It's a touchscreen with running backing tracks for my show. I need to print a printed book as well so I can quickly look things up. And I've got to learn to play guitar and stuff, all the songs without the backing tracks as well. I should be able to play every song off the top of my head. 52 songs. Perfectly, including all the instrumentals that will happen if the backing track is playing. So all the fill-in chords and shit during the intermittent bits. It's a lot of work. It's taken over a year to fucking get this set list all printed out and done with animation. See how much trouble I had dragging that brush across? There's going to be a lump. But if this was... Gee, that's low. It seems low. It is. You look like you were just born out of a fucking gorilla. You see how thick it is? You can also see the horizontal V-loops. Yeah, that's a good example. That's horizontal V-loops, kids. Well, at least it's blonde because I bleached the shit out of it. But I bleached longer than 40 minutes. This one only had 40 minutes at the front. Hardly bleached at all. But that's still a problem because of the direction of the stitching. But I should be able to at least cover it over. Like, you can't see through to all the... And this hair's wet. And this one's dry. So, double whammy. Even better example. The wet hair is disadvantaged. So, to even see less scalp through that means that it's even more effective. It's not super thick. It's just going to work nicely. But, got to get rid of... Well, that's a big gap. It's a horizontal V shit. You really need medium density. People say that's the wrong density for your age. You should have a thinner density for your age. What the fuck do you care how old I am? People have different densities. 80-year-olds have thicker densities than 16-year-olds. Depends who you are. This bit at the front is never going to look good. I have to cut that out. Also, I have a shower because that fingernail's disgusting. Not that I care. It gives me a feeling that you've been out in the garden playing with snails, which is good. But you haven't. You've just been sitting at your fucking desk. I've got the different coloured hairs. You've got grey here, orange on the sideburns. You've got fucking yellow and orange in your fucking hair. Make up your mind. Alright. Pick a hair colour, dude. Looks gross. Just cut it like a little V, like Herman Munster. Fuck. I overshot there. I'm actually feeling heart pangs right now. Oh, God. I did just go for a bit of a walk. Pick up that iPhone SE. It's currently transferring. I'm very excited about it. Fuck yeah, I'm going to have a button. Oh my God, it's going to change my life. It's going to be like using my iPad, but in phone form. Genius idea. I don't give a fuck if the screen's a tiny bit smaller. It's going to be so much better. I'll have a fucking button. I'll be able to do things when the phone is sideways without everything fucking requiring a swipe to do shit in different directions, and it doesn't work because the fucking swipe doesn't understand. Oh man, that looks bad on the corner there. You got to anchor that shit. Anchor it right into the temple. You have to lift it up and squish it over to the edge. The rest is probably adequate because this is one thing. You see, that's not too bad, he says. Polys like this against the growing out shape of how hairs come into your perimeter, like that. Fuck that fingernail, man. Alright. Shave freckly fucking head. Polys like that. Lace. Lace is like that. So it's more realistic with lace, the way it blends in with the perimeter. So that's one good thing about lace. I hope they bleach my nuts well before they send me that shit. I'm getting something called air as well, because that's going to arrive within a week, because I needed at least one supply before the end of the year. So it'll give me one front hairpiece and the arse end of whatever the fuck an air is. Hopefully it's good. I guess I'll review it. That's no going. That's it. See how careless he is, and it works anyway? Look. He doesn't even try properly. Everything's sort of just like forced. At least his hands aren't as shaking as they are other times. Alright, fast forward. You still look like roadkill with that blonde being not fucking blended nicely. Yeah, you gotta get rid of a heap of that shit. That's way too low. And on the other side as well. That isn't even touching the edge. Anchor that. What you missed by about fucking a centimetre and a half. That is fucked. But don't bother, you're going to cut that bit off anyway. It's a mess. Horizontal V-loops are the worst. There's nothing you can do to make that look like it's coming out of your fucking head. Oh my god, that galaxy on his arm, it's telling me where the secret planet of Atlantis. See that third dot from the left? No, it's too many dots. Poor thing. He's afflicted with a trait of sort of half white, half black man. I am part Maori, so that must be where the spots have come from. I'm trying to be black. My cousin's black. Alright, come on. Maybe I should speak more like a New Zealander. Celebrate my heritage a bit more. From now on, for the rest of the video, I'm gonna teach you how a New Zealander sounds when they talk. It's very abrupt, and they end the sentences in words with just a quick abrupt. Sound like that. They don't have too many vowels. And they put a bit of a diphthong into the middle of words wherever possible, in a very soft and gentle, childlike way. I'm glad I got rid of the other thing, some shit. I know what you're talking about. Hurry up, that's fucking dog-like, man. That's like a mangy mutt. You've got roadkill on your head now. This is a shit hairpiece. You've seen better hairpieces than this, right? This is fucked. There's nothing you can really do to make this look good. It's all sideways. That's really bad look. You look like a geisha. You look like you've just had your hair done for a wedding. Alright. Let's do it. Let's go. You could make one 0.05, 0.03. Fucking, I don't know what you're saying. God, just hurry the fuck up. How many minutes are there? Alright. 11. Okay, count down to 10. Okay, there are only 10 minutes. Can you believe this guy's going to squeeze in a haircut in the end of this video? If you can't fucking cut your own hair after watching this guy's clumsy hands doing shit like that to his own head, you can see how messy. He's just figuring it out as he goes along. He's done it like 20 million times, and he's still like learning. Each fucking hairpiece is like a new first time for him. That's so fucking straight. That's a shitty fucking hairline, man. And what's happening at the top of your head? Lean forward, lean forward. I want to see. I want to make fun of the top of your fucking head. It's really thinned out. This is the best hairline I could pretty much get with horizontal V-loops. Yeah, they're a joke. Sideways. It's so fucked up. Just look, we've been looking at him do his hairline, but look at it from a distance. It doesn't look good. It looks shit. Yeah, good luck with that. Oh, so he's looking at the pinky shears. He's saying he could have potentially done something about the hairline with the, you know, the arse end pieces like the ones he's wearing now. But he just can't imagine that a very neat corrugated line that's uniformly wobbly would look any better than a straight line. That still needs cutting. You probably want to clean up those sideburns a bit too, man. Sort of starting to look a bit fucking shabby with those eyebrows and everything. And fucking the back hair, I can't stand it. Neaten that whole lot up. Maybe fucking spray some tan onto that fucking white, pale, fucking pasty, shitty indoor skin you've been walking around in. Is that a grey hair on your eyebrow? Dude, game over. That's what I was talking about. Silicone glue. What's that equal? 8 minutes? You know my fucking Premiere Pro program keeps crashing and shit and I can't record. I'm recording through the fucking Windows voice recorder. That's what I've had to resort to. Everything's breaking. Thank God I got that new phone. It's my only fucking sanity. Better fucking work. Come on, scissors. Alright, get new scissors. I'll pay for them for you, fuck. They're probably $1.99 for those scissors. It's the best you can do for the hairline. It's probably true. It's the right, pretty much the right altitude. How much better is medium density than light density? Medium light density. It is much, much better. I agree. I mean, I wouldn't dare wear it back because it doesn't look right, you know. Right, left. Straight into the haircut. You've got about fucking, let's look at this. 7 minutes. 6 minutes. Not thick, it's just, it's the right amount of thickness. Okay, look at this. He'll do his little 5-layer cut thing. Look, dude, audience member, you, that person, yes, you, watching, listening to my voice. Look, this is fucking easy. Look, he doesn't know what he's doing. If you can't do this, you're an idiot. Look at it. He can't even see it properly. He's got astigmatism in one of his eyes. He's got no fucking depth perception, right? He's still gonna do it. His scissors are wavering all over the place. He just tries to keep them still so he doesn't move them forwards instead of backwards when it's reflected. Because everything's kind of a bit backwards in the mirror, but shit, it's not that fucking hard. Stick your head to your head, full length, just cut it like this. Don't just go to a fucking hairdresser and embarrass yourself and say, look, I haven't got real hair, it's all fake, I'm a failure in life. Just fucking cut it at home where nobody can see. We can hide and bask in your secret shame. Just leave it like that, looks good. Stop. Don't cut anymore. Alright. I love the way the hair flows. My natural hair has never behaved itself that well. There's some kind of pleasure I get in this whole brushing it back process, seeing that this hair will be so obedient. It's just really much better than my natural hair ever was. I mean, in terms of, I think I'm about to mention it in this video, but yeah, I'd love to go to the farms where they get this hair and meet some of the farmers. I've heard they're really nice and quite luxurious, and they really look after you and give you tea and everything. You've got to wear headphones, obviously, for the screaming, because it gets really loud, apparently. But yeah, it would be nice to visit one of those farms where they get the hair from. He thinks he's a monger. Alright, Akira, let's speed this up. What happened to your editing? You had this fast-paced thing going at one point, didn't you? You dropped the ball. Lazy motherfucker. You made the audience think that you were starting to begin to, make quality videos for a second, didn't you? And your fucking audio doesn't work and shit. You know what? I'll tell you what, I've saved him. I bought him a new phone. It's going to have proper fucking microphone that's not smashed into a million pieces because the phone's been dropped underneath a fucking motorized scooter in Los Angeles. Yeah, I smashed the shit out of that screen the first week that I bought it. It's won $500 or something. Still a new phone, iPhone XR. But as you know, don't tell them, the microphone's fucked. One of the microphones is fucked. But the thing is, with Filmic Pro, I could have chosen a different microphone. The thing is, it doesn't really show that it's giving you bad audio, like the audio that this video made. You know why he's not talking? Because he expects that I am going to fucking come along and do his dishes for him and edit his video so it's got different speeds and maybe some text overlays. Fuck him. Maybe he should just learn to cut his hair at that speed and no editing would be required. But he's too lazy. Yes, we know it's a brush. Well done. See? You get itchy on other parts of your head, not necessarily where the fucking hairpiece is. I get less itchy where the hairpiece is usually because that's a place where I've sort of just really kind of shaved it and it just doesn't get bugs in there. Well, it probably would eventually if you didn't clean it for a long time. So here's the rule again. You get about 1 week, maybe 3 days with lace or 2 days with lace, I don't know. You've got to fucking lift up the front and clean that shit. Basically removing all the old glue and then... But there's some... And then you got about 2 weeks before you got to take the whole thing off, shave your head and clean out the old glue and clean the hairpiece. Then you wear it again for another 2 weeks and then you fucking get rid of it. That's my policy. I throw them all out up after a month. Except for that one that I just took off because that was shit. In fact, if I take delivery of a whole bunch of hair pieces, which I'm not about to because there's a worldwide shortage, run and get the fucking toilet paper hair pieces right now. Otherwise you'll miss out and you'll be going bald. You have to change your mind about the entire operation. You have to tell people, yeah, I'm going to have to come out of the closet as a baldy. That's fucking much better than the... I think I'm much better. Yes, it is. It's much better than the last hairpiece. Thank you. Is it finished? All done. Okay, cool. I've only got a few seconds left. Before. After. Medium light. Medium. Thanks for watching.